Hello, everyone. Charles Watts here. Welcome back to Inside Arsenal. It's Wednesday. We're halfway through the week. The round of 16 is finished at the Euros. We know who the quarterfinals are going to be. What a game that was last night between Austria and Turkey. All day I've been looking forward to that game. You kind of knew it was going to be an absolute belter because of what had gone on in the games between those teams earlier on in the tournament, and it did not disappoint. Absolutely brilliant. It was so much fun to watch. Two wonderfully fun teams, attacking football, vibrant, amazing atmosphere, and you even had that grandstand ending with that amazing save at the end. Really, really good. Really enjoyed that. Can't wait for the quarter-finals to begin now. Right, but plenty to talk about Arsenal-wise today. We're going to talk about Riccardo Calafiori, who, of course, I spoke about yesterday when I was talking about the Arsenal's interest in him. That continues to be big news, especially over in Italy. Front page news now, Arsenal and Calafiori, Chelsea as well in the mix. Bit of a battle potentially heating up between those two clubs. We've been there before, haven't we? So we'll talk about that. We've got lots of reaction from you about Calafiori as well. We're going to discuss William Saliba. Got loads of reaction from you guys as well about what we were talking about yesterday and his performances for France at the Euros, and plenty of other little tidbits to get on with as well. But we'll start with Calafiori, shall we? Who, of course, yesterday, if you hadn't seen the show, I confirmed the interest that Arsenal do have in him. But the club are aware there is plenty of other interest as well, most notably from Juventus over in Italy. But Bologna continue to insist that they are not going to be doing any deals with Juventus for Calafiori because of the whole Thiago Motta thing and a bit of a breakdown in relationships between those two clubs. And they insist that they want to keep him. If they are going to sell, they are going to sell to a different market. And that is certainly believed to be the Premier League, Arsenal and Chelsea, the two front runners for him. And as you can see, front page news at the moment over in Italy today, Arsenal £47 million offer. So 47 million euro offer for Calafiori. That is the big news over in Italy. I can't confirm that. I haven't heard if there has been an official bid. I don't think there has, unless certainly from what I was speaking to someone yesterday about it, my information was there wasn't any bid at that stage. It was still just, interest from Arsenal, but they were very, very interested in him. So I wouldn't be surprised if a bid does go in, but I haven't heard that it is. But over in Italy, they are saying that an offer has now been made and that Chelsea have launched into the race for him as well. So that's about £40 million, 47 million euros. And loads of you have been getting in touch. We were talking about Calafiori yesterday. So I'll go through some of what you guys have been saying, reacting to the news that Arsenal are potentially going to make a move for the Italian defender. Just 22, only just turned 22. Lots and lots of sort of attributes that Arsenal like. Obviously, the left-sided player can play centre-back, can play left-back, can kind of play a bit further forward as well. As I was saying yesterday, you look at Jakub Kiwior and the role that he's been playing at Arsenal, certainly last season, the second half of last season. Calafiori you think usurps him almost. But then you would think if Calafiori arrives, as I said yesterday, something probably is going to happen to Kiwior, who there is interest in from Italy. So some of the reaction from you guys. Discover It says, please guys, can we talk about Calafiori and how he might be a market available answer to the left side permanently? In my opinion, this is the best opportunity to transform Arsenal's left-hand side that I have seen this summer. Imagine what his ability to make the overlapping run for Martinelli would mean. With this arrangement, I would be comfortable playing Rice as an 8 for the season, knowing he will occupy the deepest position within the left triangle, with occasional switches with the rest of the left triangle. Giving Calafiori and Martinelli the chance to be at their best while interchanging with each other, the potential of this signing makes me excited. We could also see a situation where Timber could be a healthy backup option while he recovers, and Tommy's minutes managed to improve his availability. The deal is very possible, as we've had previous dealings with Bologna. We could also see Timber try at left 8 with this signing. Who knows? Daniel says, I can bet my future kids that Calafiori will stay in Italy. Lots of people saying that. I was saying it yesterday. Italian players, you always know, prefer to stay in Italy and always end up making moves to Juventus or a club like that rather than making a move. But not everyone. And it is interesting, actually. And I think I might have a comment on the next slide with this about Calafiori in terms of what he has done so far in his career, which might suggest that maybe a move abroad is not something he's going to be worried about. Cowden Penn says, what a dream it would be for Calafiori and Nico Williams were to sign. Please get it done. So just turning on here, Lanes Revec says, I want Calafiori. Think he's a perfect fit, and we can then move Kivior on and hopefully Zinchenko. Don't think you'd be moving 2 players on if you got Calafiori, but wanting a player based on 3 Euro 2024 games doesn't sound much like a modern Arsenal recruitment. Do you know if there was any interest before the Euros from Arsenal? Do I know? No, I don't know. But I absolutely think there would have been. Arsenal are not going to suddenly try and sign a player because of 3 appearances at European Championships. So no, you're absolutely right. It doesn't sound like modern Arsenal recruitment, and I don't believe that to be the case at all. I don't know for I haven't been told that they'd obviously been scouting him before the Euros, but I absolutely think they would have been. He's not been playing for some, I mean, Arsenal just know everyone. The recruitment department knows everyone. They have so much analysis on every single player, especially top players. And Calafiori has been playing for Bologna, who have been fantastic in Serie A last season. So they would have known him. Absolutely, would have known exactly what he was doing. Carlito said, "Why would Calafiori want to come to Arsenal to play second fiddle for Saliba and Gabriel?" And I'm not sure it would be second fiddle to Saliba and Gabriel. I think it would be more on the left hand side of the defence that he'd be coming to Arsenal. And King Gens Wanza says, Charles, I have a weird feeling it might be Gabriel that might get moved on. I think because of Juve's bad relationship with Bologna, they might turn to Gabriel and Arsenal get Calafiori. Remember, Juve wanted Gabriel last season. I cannot see a world that we live in right now that Juventus could afford Gabriel. I really, really can't. I think Gabriel is one of the very best centre-backs in the world right now. I know Juventus are a top team, but I just don't think they have the finances to be able to sign Gabriel. I think if Gabriel was going to go anywhere, it'd be Saudi Arabia, because they're the one place where it could really look to afford him right now. And so I do not worry about Juventus going for Gabriel, and I don't see, if Calafiori comes in, that is the end for Gabriel at Arsenal by any means. Like I said, I see more on the left-hand side. And just going back to Daniel's comment here, where he says, I can bet my kids that Calafiori will stay in Italy. The thing with Calafiori, he's left Italy before. He went to Switzerland, Basel, for a year. Any money, I think 40% of the transfer fee that Bologna would receive for him this summer, if he were to move, 40% of it will go to Basel. So, he's got history of moving and leaving Italy as well. So it's slightly different when I look at most Italian internationals and know that they very, very reluctant to leave Italy, but he's done it before. So I don't think it would be such a big issue for him. But yeah, thanks so much for all your comments and questions. There were so many other ones. You were all reacting to it loads yesterday in the comments. So there's a few of the slides of what you had to say. And it's certainly one to keep an eye on, as this, I think, is probably going to rumble on for a couple of weeks in terms of what's going to happen with Calafiori. But Arsenal absolutely interested in him. And yeah, it doesn't sound like they're going to have it all their own way. And when Chelsea are in the mix, we've all seen what can happen there before in terms of what they end up offering, the money they end up offering. So interesting one to keep an eye on. But yeah, there's the latest annual reaction on Riccardo Calafiori. Right, moving on to William Saliba now, from one defender to another. Saliba's been absolutely monstrous for France so far in this tournament, as we spoke about in yesterday's show. But some interesting reaction from you lot in terms of what I was talking about for Saliba yesterday. I thought it was worth a debate. Obviously, we've seen little rumours beginning to do the rounds of PSG and Real Madrid lining up a move for William Saliba at some point, maybe not this year, but maybe next year. And lots of you are getting in touch when we were talking about yesterday. 95 did it again, says, hi Charles, do you think Saliba is becoming too good to a point that it'll be too good to stay at Arsenal if we don't start winning major honours soon? Matt says, sad thing is, I think we'll only have Saliba for a season or two and then Madrid will come knocking. The Lex Bank says, enjoy Saliba this season. I think it will be his last. So lots of you saying the same sort of thing. In terms of your question there, 95 did it again. Do I think Saliba is becoming too good to stay at Arsenal? Absolutely not. This is new Arsenal. This is Arsenal that want to be top dogs or be challenging with the top dogs in Europe. So too good for Arsenal? Absolutely not. Do I expect someone like Real Madrid to come knocking for William Saliba? Absolutely yes. I just think it's inevitable. It will happen. I think when you look at Saliba, he fits exactly what Real Madrid are trying to build and the squad that they're trying to build. That's not me saying he'll go, but I think there's definitely going to be interest that Arsenal are going to have to fend off. Just like way back when Arsenal fended off interest in Vieira from Real Madrid season after season after season, when all we saw was Real Madrid moving for Patrick Vieira. And I think that will inevitably happen when it comes to Saliba. And you can put PSG into the mix as well, because he's, as I said yesterday, in my opinion, he's the best centre-back in the world right now. And when you're the best centre-back in the world, every single top club in the world are going to want to try and sign you, and that includes Real Madrid. But do I think he's too good to stay at Arsenal? Absolutely not. But I do think that Arsenal need to start winning trophies 100%. You could only rely on loyalty and love for the club so long. And I've always talked about that sort of thing, that you have to then, you can build a really great squad. But the problem is then you do have to start matching their ambitions in terms of silverware. So it's vitally important that Arsenal start winning silverware. Absolutely. Because it's just going to help. Because when you win silverware, the players don't need to look anywhere else to think, oh, I've got to go there to get my hands on the biggest trophies, because I can do it at Arsenal. So I understand what you're all saying, and I share your fears that it's inevitable that a club like Real Madrid are going to come and try and lure Saliba away pretty soon because he's that good. But I definitely don't think he's too good to stay at Arsenal. And I definitely think that Arsenal can show, and I really think they will show, that they are able to win the biggest trophies here with this squad, because I think they're going to do it. I'm just so confident that success in terms of trophies is just around the corner when it comes to Arsenal. Okay, moving on to some of your questions and comments now. Now, this one that came from Gent next door. Charles, have you heard the rumours that the Kroenkes are to buy the Emirates Stadium and renovate it to a 75,000 capacity? Yes, I have seen those rumours, and frankly, it's just not right. The Kroenkes own the Emirates Stadium. The Kroenkes are full ownership of Arsenal. They already own Arsenal and the Emirates and everything. But whatever, it's not going to be the renovated to 75,000. There's so many rules in there when it was given at the time that 60,000 is where it is going to stay. And I don't see any way that the council or anyone is going to change, because they were so firm on it when the original plan and permission was built. So it's just a lovely rumor that you see doing the rounds on social media that gets traction and people start talking about it. But the Kroenkes own Arsenal. They're full owners of Arsenal. They can do what they want with the Emirates in terms of planning applications and stuff. But even if they were to do that, it's not going to get the green light to move to 75,000. And I don't think really Arsenal are too concerned about making it anymore at the moment anyway. So it's a rumor, but it's no more than that. Okay, here's one from Ben. He said, hey, Charles, I know that it's normal now, but playing 3 Premier League teams in pre-season seems so strange. What is the reason for it? And is it more beneficial than playing non-PL teams? Thank Ben. So this is, of course, in reaction to Arsenal's announcement that the final pre-season tour game in the US has been confirmed as Bournemouth, which means they're going to play Bournemouth, Manchester United and Liverpool while they're on the US tour. In terms of your question there, is it more beneficial than playing non-PL teams? I think certainly in terms of money at the moment, because the PL is just, what everyone wants to see. So yes, but this wasn't, Bournemouth weren't originally going to be Arsenal's opponents. They were going to be playing Wrexham. That was everything that I'd heard at the start of this. We're going into the summer. The 3 games were going to be Liverpool, Manchester United and Wrexham. The Wrexham match fell through for whatever happened. So obviously that's not a PL team, but they are an English club in America with huge audience because of Welcome to Wrexham documentaries and Ryan Reynolds and everything. And so that was the original game, but it didn't happen. I'm not sure why it fell through at the last minute in terms of the organisation of it all. And so they moved on to Bournemouth. But look, money talks at the end of the day. So, and the Premier League are doing all they can to absolutely dominate the US market as well, because they see that's where all the future money, or a lot of the future money in terms of overseas broadcasting, is going to continue to come from, because it's just growing and growing over there. And so they want to sell the product as much as they possibly can. And that's why, this is going to be the 3rd year in a row Arsenal have gone over to the US. And, that's unprecedented, really. Normally it's US once and then they head over to the other side of the world, go to somewhere in Asia or go to Australia, something like that. But at the moment, they're just solely focused on America, because that's where the dollar is and that's where the money is at the moment when it comes to the Premier League, and continue to expand it. I'd like to see Arsenal playing against someone else. Obviously, last year we had the Barcelona game, didn't we? It's just a little bit more fun when you do play a foreign team. But of course, Arsenal do come back and then have Euro and the Emirates Cup, which is going to be 2 fixtures against Bayer Leverkusen, which would be a great game. And I've totally forgotten who the other fixture is in the Lyon, isn't it? Of course it is. It's Lyon. So there are going to be a couple of games against non-Premier League teams in pre-season. But over on the tour, I think it's just purely down to money. Although, like I said, it was originally going to be Wrexham. Right, and that's it from me, everyone, for today. Thank you very much for watching. Appreciate your time as always. Have a very good day. No football to look forward to tonight, of course. We've got a couple of rest days now before the quarterfinals get underway, but still enjoy whatever it is you are up to today. And I'll be back tomorrow to do it all over again. Have a good one, everyone. Speak to you soon. Bye-bye.